All right, welcome everybody. We're in week 3 here. Wilds of Eldraine League feature matches. Raphael, he's not able to make it tonight, so I got John P. Goku himself is going to be filling in for the first two tonight, and we got Wyatt against Adam. So two winners from last week coming back. Adam actually won week 1 as well. What's his hand looking like over there?
He's got an etched familiar probably coming down next turn. And then at top end, he's got his Yargle and Multani. He just drew a gruff triplets too, so a lot of top end in his hand.
Yeah. So Adam's running this Sultai value deck, and he's playing against Wyatt, who has his very focused red black deck. Has been red black since almost day one. He does need to pick. He does need to pick up some lands here, or else he runs the risk of falling very far behind. Since he does not have any lands in hand, he has 7 spells. Um, so we did see his deck last week just operate at full power with his Goblin Bombardment, Ashiok, Grave Pact, Lord Skitter's Blessing, Song of Totentons. I mean, he finished the week 8-2, and he's now at 9-4. But we're seeing him getting choked on Lancer. He's going to try and at least present a creature that can't be attacked through until until he finds more lands.
Adam's got a handful of 6 drops, but if Wyatt's going to let him just take the time to play his lands, he's got one forest, but he's also got the Timberland Ancient, so he can forest cycle if he really needs to get that last forest out.
Yeah, well, I mean, to hit the Gruff triplets, you know, you want to hit those on time if you can. That's going to be really difficult for White to get through. I mean, he has some good stuff in his hand. He has Song of Totentons, Lord Skitter's Blessing, those 2 rares, Cut In, Ratcatcher Trainee, High Fate Negotiator, and he has the 2 creatures in Adventure. So he has tons of stuff to do, but none of them are going to compete with the Gruff triplets if it comes down here.
And he draws a swamp. So he finds the second swamp he needed to cast the Yargle and Multani if he so chose to go that route.
All right. Yeah, I'm not sure if Adam's still running a Sultai build. I know he was running 3 colors before. He actually started 1-3. He opened 3 Mom packs, and he rode those packs to 6 straight wins, up to 7-3. This week he's dropped his first 2 this week, so he's 7-5. So still doing pretty good though.
Yeah, I actually played against Adam last week in the feature match, and there is some bombs in Adam's deck. Let me tell you.
Yeah,
What's
he has the Black Virtue. He has the Gruff triplets. I think it was in week 1 actually, but yeah, it was in
Oh
week
yeah,
1.
week one.
Yeah, last week he played against Chris York, so he's 2-0 so far in feature matches this league. So White's just gonna try and present some attacks here. He says, "Look, I don't know if he knows Adam's deck, but he says probably once Adam gets more lands, he's gonna have some really big stuff to do at some point. So I need to get in now because I can only really cast one thing a turn."
And Adam's hand now 3 6 drops, and he just drew a Lord Skitter,
So
Sewer King for the turn.
So he's just going to be dropping heavy hitters here for the foreseeable future. And Wyatt can't do
Yeah,
anything about any of them. Um, he could try and keep getting in for damage, but Gruff Triplets is not the thing here. And he's drawn an Impact Tremors, which is not going to be particularly helpful at this time.
no, it's tough to race here. Well, White was trying to get the race going, but I don't know how you race through triplets.
Yeah, I think he needed to hit his lands a bit more consistently to at least maybe have like a scarier board. Not that there's that many boards that a Gruff Triplets is scared of, but he could have had a bit of a wider board. Could have presented potential. Maybe the Song of Totentans could have stolen a win, or if he draws his Goblin Bombardment. But now with the Gruff Triplets, they're just going to dominate this board here. Um, Lord Skitter's coming down, so here come the rares.
Yep.
seeing, yeah, seeing Lord Skitter here, and at some point, Adam can probably feel okay about starting to attack with Gruff Triplets. Maybe one of them at some point, but I mean, Wyatt is at 12 really. With I mean, he does have a High Fate Negotiator in hand to gain some life, but this could be done quick if Adam keeps building on his board like this.
And Adam's got the Timberland Ancient and the Yargle and Multani in hand, so just more big boys coming Wyatt's way.
Yeah, so I know Adam's open mom packs, but his board here is basically all all woe cards, aside from the portent tracker. I know it's basically people are opening woe or mom. It's not like a mix, right? You're not seeing people be like, ah, I'm gonna go back to woe now, or starting opening woe and be like, time to go over to mom. It's
Yeah, bouncing back.
kind of just you're on that train and you're going all the way to the end with whichever one you pick.
But when you have these strong cards like Gruff Triplets and Lord Skitter, they're still going to make their way even into the mom cards, right? Like these are some strong rares Adam's playing. And he draws a Timuret, chosen from death,
That
for the turn.
Yeah, that could gain him some life here. I mean, he's just going to cast his 6/5. I assume at some point he's going to cast his 18/6 as well.
Yeah. At some point, he's just got to start swinging in, I think.
Yeah, so what Wyatt's done with his turn, instead of casting something like a High Fate Negotiator, he's going to try and go for like a little cheeky Impact Tremors, sort of, maybe get a bunch of free damage here, because he's got the Ratcatcher trainee here to make tokens. He's got Song of Totentons to do more damage. He's got High Fate Negotiator, that's three more, well, four more
Wow.
damage in hand with Impact Tremors. So he said, well, if he's not attacking, maybe I could just sneak a win through here with this damage. Adam doesn't have any life gain on board. He has a Monstrosity, which could die to a food, but it is not impossible that Wyatt could just win without really attacking.
I love it because once you see the triplets, it's like you can't attack into it. You're hoping he's not attacking, but he's found a game plan against this board that might work out.
Yeah, what I found with Gruff triplets, even if like one of them doesn't like, even if like opponent has 2, 3, 4, so like it looks like they have no attacks. I found like just if you start attacking with one of them, like they can't ignore the 3 damage. At some point, they're gonna have to block it.
Yeah,
Like you're okay. You're 3/3 getting eaten and making 2 6/6s. Like that's fine. Like I had that in the arena open, and I just found on certain boards, just attack with one, even if it's threatening to get eaten. When the others become 6/6s, they're going to be bigger than whatever opponent has. So
and you never know when Wyatt's threatening like an instant speed bargain, or when Adam's threatening an instant speed bargain. Eat one of them,
oh yeah,
put counters on the other two.
yeah. So I think starting to attack with one of them is probably the way to go. And Wyatt realizes I don't have any attacks, so let me just sit here and try and deal 13 damage with impact tremors. And I mean,
Voracious Werefox, the draw for the turn.
okay, so that could add some more power here.
He's kind of got the choice. He's got Yarglemont. It's time. The
It's
18/6.
it's a big creature, the biggest creature that we'll see today. I'd be surprised if we saw a creature get bigger than that. Now he's got a Stone Splitter Bolt that, and he's got back for seconds. Nothing in his graveyard yet. So those draws not really exactly where you want to be. I don't think he's scared of the 18/6 unless it gains trample. Like he can throw bodies in front. So he can High Fate Negotiator, put Adam down to 9 here.
I'm a little surprised Adam didn't at least swing in with the 6/5, start trying to push some kind of damage.
Yeah, I mean, he sees the impact tremors. I mean, with the colors that Wyatt's playing, he knows, red black sort of just in the set is a go wide deck. Like it's the go wide deck of the format. He can probably, I think he can imagine a world where impact tremors will deal him those points of damage. He does need to start getting it at some point. Of note, Wyatt did put that token, the roll token on the Grabby Giant, so that it would trade with the Timberland Ancient. So,
Yeah.
and the High Fate Negotiator does not have attacks because of the Timberland Ancient. So, if Adam wasn't attacking with the Timberland Ancient before, I don't think he'll be attacking with it now because he doesn't want to get attacked with a 3/5 flyer. What's he still got in hand there aside from the? You said he had the Werefox adventure.
He has the Werefox, Timuret,
Oh,
and then he draws Invasion of Zendikar for the turn.
here comes everything. Okay. So we went from no attacks to all attacks, and
Yeah. He's got the instant speed,
yeah, he's got the
roll
plus one.
maker
He's got
here.
the plus one, yeah. So he could plus one on the gruff triplets that's being blocked by the grabby giant. It'll kill the giant and it'll make the other ones bigger. Uh, let's see what else. I mean, so he's taking 6, 7, 10, 13. So this is actually just lethal, right? With the extra damage.
With the one extra, does he get it?
Adam did. I guess Adam did the math.
It's
He said
it's too much math for me. I mean,
he
it's
would have had to block the 6-5 in order to not die. Well, it looks like 6, 7, 10, 13 is getting in, which with the trample,
oh
with the
well,
plus
yeah.
one trample.
He just puts the plus one trample on the
Anything.
18-6 on Maltani, right? Ooh.
For show. I mean, he could have got him to 0. Instead, he gets him to -12 or whatever it is. Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
0 is good too, but we like -17. It's a fun
Yeah,
time.
well, that's funny. That card in Mom, it was hard to give it trample and evasion. It wasn't, it was kind of slow. This big thing, but here for just 2 mana,
Yeah,
make it
it
19
also just
trample.
it also just kind of wasn't really where the format was directed towards, like a 6 mana thing that doesn't really do anything. I mean, aside from being large, it's just Mom was like a value format. So
And large
Wyatt's
it
gone with
is.
no changes. Is Adam still playing Sultai, or has he gone to 2 colors here? Because we only saw 2 colors of cards in that game.
He's looking at the board. I'll tell you as soon as he goes back to his deck. Kind of checking out, seeing if he wants to sideboard anything. Looks like the blue is gone.
Okay,
There's two red lands,
could be
but they're
for
duals.
could be for an
So yes,
adventure, or it could be for one of those Mom cards where you could flip it for Phyrexian mana or
yeah, it could
a
be.
color.
But yeah, no more blue.
Yeah, I know I've gone up in colors as I've been opening Mom packs, which is unusual for me. Usually I'm trying to go down in colors, but now I'm in Sultai because a lot of my best gold cards are blue, and my blue I can't play blue as like a primary or even secondary color, so I have to splash my good Demir cards.
It's hard. That's the thing with Mom, right? It's like there's so many gold cards and there's so many lands and there's so much fixing in that set.
Well,
It's hard not to just start throwing cards in. Adam says no changes.
well, I got all the Demir bombs from March Machine. I got Hidetsugu and Kairi. I got the 2 uncommons, Halo Forager, and the Invasion of Ammon Ket. So I'm just playing green, playing black, and throw those in there and try and win with some sick value plays. I won a couple games today with that the Imperiosaur. It has like Convoke, Trample,
Oh
and
yeah,
Board, and it comes in with counters for every creature you tapped. Like I just opened that. I just got that yesterday. Jeez. Yeah. So Wyatt's kept a bit of this is going to be a bit of a rough one if he doesn't get there. He's not dead after all. Belligerent of the Ball, the 3 mana 3/3 with Celebration, and the rest are lands. But he has drawn a Monstrous Rage for turn and a Ratcatcher trainee now, so he's kind of he's it looks like he might be okay. What's Adam working with there?
Adam's got a lot of lands, ways to grab lands, and he's got an invasion of Fiora,
Ooh, that's the
the
board wiper.
board wipe.
Hmm,
Yeah.
interesting.
Other than that, he has Brave the Wilds, Invasion of Zendikar, and a Final Flourish and 2 lands.
Okay, so he also uh, probably needs to draw some spells here.
And
Uh,
he's gonna Brave the Wilds.
okay.
And for a split second, when you search for a land, it shows you the card that's on top. Oh,
Oh
there was
no,
a Gruff Triplets was on
it
top,
was
and I'm
never there.
sure.
Come on, it was never there.
Why does it even show you though? That's just mean.
I mean, on Magic Online, after a game finishes, you can draw cards from your deck to see what was there.
Yeah, I love
That's a
that.
thing, and you can also reveal your hand to your opponent. So you could be like, "Yeah, I had 5 lands," and you could like show them. Or when you win convincingly, you could show them all the stuff you had left in your hand that was going to win, even if they answer what was on board. Yeah. All right, so he might just main phase. Yeah, he might just main phase this thing here now, so he can get in for 4 rather than
I don't.
3.
I like it. Adam's hand really doesn't do much until it wipes the board. It's just invasion of Zendikar, 3 lands, and the board wipe and a removal spell.
Yeah, well, Wyatt's only creature right now that he has available to him is the Ratcatcher trainee in Exile on the Adventure. So, um, Adam would obviously like him to extend a bit more into this board, but I don't. Wyatt doesn't seem that capable of doing it. Wyatt also has not dead after all, so he can get back. I would imagine his 3/3 if the board wipe happens. So the board wipe won't wipe out everything. So is Adam interested in attacking the invasion here?
Doesn't look like it. No.
He'd rather just save two damage with that board wipe, and with the fact that he knows it's his job to slow down the game, and it's his job to go over the top and not die. He doesn't need to deal 2 damage to this invasion and then take 2 damage back and have no way to defend himself. It's like the invasion's not flipping this turn, so
Yeah, and I think he also he wants to save the. He doesn't want it to die to the board wipe. I don't think he really wants to put much on the board till he clears it.
yeah. So this is gonna be a monstrous rage. Get in for a bit of damage. Unfortunately, he won't get the belligerent of the ball trigger because that one requires you to have celebrated at the beginning of combat. Like some of the cards are checking constantly. Like I know the red 2 drop the common. Like you can make stuff. You can make 2 rats mid combat and it'll get pumped, but the belligerent of the ball, it's a trigger, so didn't quite work out there. So is this good enough to board wipe? Probably at 11, I
Yeah,
would say
it
yes.
looks like it is. Yeah, he says let's get rid of this, and he has a 1-drop follow up with a fairy dream thief in hand, and he drew an etched familiar for the turn.
It's funny. It's funny if he would have gone for the 2 damage on the invasion earlier, the fairy dream thief could finish it off. The invasion of
Oh,
Zendikar, since that one, I think it was the only one in the set that started at 3.
yeah.
That one
Oh,
started about as low as you can go here. Yeah, so
yeah.
belligerent of the ball sticks around. What else does Adam have in hand?
So he's got a final flourish, so he
Okay,
can kill it next turn. Questing druid is what we're looking at as far as our surveil. He keeps it on top, and then he's got a
that's what the red's for.
etch familiar and a forest in Adam's hand.
Okay, looks like he's just straight up jumping here. Okay, I was
Yeah, he needs to sack with the. I
yeah.
guess he could sack it.
No, you have to sack an artifact or a creature. Can't sack a battle, unfortunately. Okay, he's gonna do this little thing here.
Okay, he finds a deadly derision.
Okay, I think
Take
he's just gonna cast that. Yeah, so
and
Atrax's fall doesn't interact with battles the way that you would want it to. It destroys a battle, but it doesn't actually remove the counters and allow you to flip it. Unlike if you deal direct damage to one. All right, so looks like Adam can at least start picking away at these invasions.
he says no.
No, he says okay. I mean, he's afraid of haste, I suppose. But I mean,
He is at 6, I guess.
if Wyatt has like what's the common haste creature? The 4/4 with adventure. It's like, yeah, I guess he doesn't want to put his questing druid in the way because that thing can eventually get big enough. But I feel like with 3 creatures now, he can at least attack the invasion.
And now he's gonna go after Marche. Look for Marchesa, I think.
Yeah, well, Marchesa can flip the other one, right? Doesn't it remove counters from things?
Yep.
I don't recall everything it does, but I believe I know that if you haven't taken damage, you lose a life and draw a card at the beginning of your turn.
Yeah, basically it makes you the monarch.
Yeah, well, you lose a life, and I think it removes all counters from a permanent.
Yep, of your choice. So you can hit your own stuff, your opponent's stuff.
Yeah, it was a way to kill incubation tokens. It was a way to uh, kill, flip your invasions. Now Adam's gonna he's gonna
Yeah,
start
and with
turning this
just
around now. I mean, he does have the Marchesa triggers, but I think he'll be able to win in enough time.
yeah,
So
I'm sure there's a out for Wyatt. I couldn't tell you
yeah,
what it
it's
is
it's
though.
it's well the one that I know for sure is the Song of Totentons with the impact tremors. That'll that'll be lethal, but I think he needs that like this turn basically.
Yeah,
The Song of
Adam's
Totentons will
got
be
a
lethal
lot.
because of impact tremors and because of they have haste. Okay, so when it attacks, remove all counters. So now you got a 4/4. Yeah, so Adam will win the game next turn unless Wyatt can find that Song of Totentons right off the top of his deck. Even some of his other really good cards like Ashiok or other things like that won't do it. And it's a swamp, so we see this green black sort of value ramp uh, good stuff deck be able to take down the black red aggro. So Adam keeps his win streak alive. Hopefully, we'll have him back next week to continue on in the feature matches. And congratulations to Adam for the win. And we'll be back in a little bit for our second match of the night.